Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that you've had a wonderful weekend. If you are listening to this the day I release it, if not, I hope that whenever or wherever you are, when you listen to this message, that you're remembering to connect to your 8th chakra and the light. Connecting to your higher vibrational energy field will help you navigate pretty much everything that you're going through as far as the ascension is concerned. In the past 24 hours, I've been researching what other people are going through with the Simpsons. See, maybe that's one of them. The ascension symptoms. Oh my goodness. Can't get through a sentence sometimes. There's a lot of people have been reporting brain fatigue, kind of fogginess, mental clarity has completely gone out the window. People have felt heavy, like they're walking underwater when they're walking, like they just feel this heaviness. A lot of people have reported that they're just like literally unable to think. A lot of people are feeling frustrated, angry, a lot of sleeping, just like I reported yesterday. Yesterday I only had input from 3 people, and today I read messages from over 20 people, and they're all saying the same thing on this one. I can't even find the video. I just spent 20 minutes looking for it, but this is what people were reporting. One woman did say every time she looks in the mirror, her face is completely different, and it's starting to kind of panic her. Someone else said they feel like they started a DMT trip, but they don't remember starting it, and they've been pretty much living life as if they're freaking high, and nothing makes sense anymore. And that's been lately. This person is a man, I think, said this for about the past few weeks or month that it's been happening like this. Just so many weird things are happening around him that he can't really comprehend them all, and he feels tired and almost basically like he's stoned, you know? Yeah, I really feel like that too. Like it's like we've been handed LSD in our drinking water and we didn't realize it, and now we're all just high or something. That's what it feels like. That's what the current ascension symptoms feel like to me. I keep seeing things fly by me really fast, and then I look and there's nothing there. I keep seeing beings of light and also little beings of dark, like little fairy folk, little fays, and they're just like flying around all around me all the time. I've had angels in my room the other night when I went to lay down, and I was upset about something. I don't know what, if I was emotionally upset, or maybe it was about a week ago when I was having an asthma attack. And thank you, I'm fine now, but thank you, God. But I felt something put its hand on my head, like an alien being. I know it was an alien. I know it was an ET being, an off-worlder, but from a different dimension. And I felt like a cold hand being placed on my forehead, out of love and concern and caring. It was comforting and also discomforting at the same time, because, oh my God, hand out of nowhere. One of my symptoms has been the past 2 days very weird. Like at night, I go to sleep, I put my legs on top of a pillow, and I put like a pillow under my neck, and I do everything I can to assure that my back is going to feel good when I wake up. And 2 nights in a row, I ended up sleeping in a really weird position, like in a fetal position, and my eyes are swollen like I've been crying for hours. This morning was no different. Same thing. It was just, I don't know what's going on. I know that I had a dream yesterday. I had a dream about my husband who died. Today, I had a dream about my Aunt Billy, because that's someone else I really miss. And I had a dream that I went to heaven, and I visited her in heaven. And while I was there, she had a pet elephant, which was a little teeny tiny baby elephant. It was like only 2 feet tall. It was like a miniature elephant. And so I got to hang out with her elephant and play with him. And then my dog who had died, my German Shepherd, his name was Brindle, and he had died when, oh gosh, I was really young. Well, I was like 12 or 13. Anyway, he actually was stolen from us. I don't think he died, honestly. Well, yeah, obviously he's died by now, but it's been 40 years. German Shepherds don't live more than like 12 to 15 usually. But I went, and he was there. He was living with my aunt. And I remember that she kind of did have a good relationship with him. She didn't like dogs normally, and he loved her. So my dog that had died, my aunt that had died, they're living together in this massive mansion that my aunt created. And you walk in, it's all heavy, dark cherry wood, and like sweeping banisters and staircases, and like just so gaudy. It was so gaudy, all full of antiques, but the heavier antiques. And my aunt and her sister, they were orphaned when they were kids, and they grew up poor. So they just both dreamed of having houses full of antiques and having money, tons of money to buy antiques. And my aunt was a self-made woman, and she did make a lot of money with her own business, and she filled her house with antiques. So in my dream, same thing. She had made a mansion filled with antiques. It was really cool. But I laid down and I took a nap, and my dog, they'd been my dog when I was a little kid, cuddled with me. And I woke up and I was in a fetal position, and I'd been crying and my eyes were swollen. Obviously, because I missed that dog and, my aunt. And it's just bizarre. I don't know what that's about. I think this might be an ascension symptom, so I'm mentioning it. Also, a lot of people have been talking about having a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of combative energy, negative fighting kind of energy coming back up from the past. So that's been something, it hasn't been in my life, thank God. My kid and I are getting along, my other kid and I are getting along. Everything's good with us. But if you have not gotten over some of your past fights and angers that you've had with people in the past, this might be a time in which you need to let it go, and it might be coming up right now. Just so you can anchor fully and deeper into the 5th dimension, you need to let all this crap go. It's time. Honestly, it's time. It's time to let it go. So basically, that's it. For thousands of years, people around the world were in charge of, they weren't in charge. How do I say this? The matriarchy, the goddess, divine mother, basically had been at the forefront for thousands of years. And then the patriarchy came around, and then everyone worshipped suddenly a father god. And so, everyone takes turns, I guess. And so first it was, ladies first, and then the male figurehead of God. And now what a lot of people that are psychic, a lot of people that are looking into this energy that's coming, a lot of people are saying that the divine feminines and the divine masculines in this world, whether or not your physical body is feminine or masculine, it's just what your soul is. Because we experience different reincarnations in which we're, male or female, or maybe even trans, or sex neutral. There's a lot of that going on now. That's the newest energy coming in, but as far as gender is concerned. But I'm not talking about gender, I'm talking about your soul. Like if your soul is a divine masculine or a divine feminine. And so the divine feminine, divine masculine, they've been healing. And the divine feminine has been finding her own voice again, finding her own power, becoming empowered, while the divine masculine has had to recently start to surrender all of the negativity from the past and all of the just the sadness. And I'm getting the energy now as I'm talking about this, that men have been forced into a role that a lot of men really aren't truly comfortable playing because of society and the way things have been shaped. And it's been put upon men to be the sole breadwinners. And that's obviously been breaking down since, I would have to say, the 70s, when suddenly divorce was on the rise in the United States and around the world. And suddenly the men were, a little bit more free as far as they could sleep around and they didn't have to be married. And the mores of the day got a lot slacker. There's a lot of loosening up of those morals. Whereas before, you get married and, oh well, you're married forever. Does he beat you? Oh well, learn to use a frying pan against him. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like a weird, like from the 40s and 50s, there was kind of like a angsty energy. I mean, to the moon, Alice, the honeymooners. And then in the 60s, we had all of the, the women's liberation movement started at the very beginning in the 60s. And in the 70s, that was like full on, we're burning our bras, we're making love in public, we don't care, we are who we are, deal with it, right? And then the gay movements came out of the 70s as well. The LGBTQIA, all of that came up. So we've been trying to figure out who the hell we are, for a long time. At first it was just like, at least a couple hundred years ago, women they had to marry, they had no rights. They could not own land. They could not own businesses. They couldn't have their own money. Banks didn't really, I don't think banks really even existed like 200 years ago. But women had to rely on men. And up until about the 50s and 60s, when people started to get divorced, and then it was very hush hush. Oh, we can't. Oh, shh, she's divorced. Oh, I feel so sorry for her. Like people talk in tones and whispers. Now people go, I'm divorced. All right, yeah, me too. All right. Most of us who've lived any sort of life at all have been married and divorced. Most people in their 40s and 50s have already been divorced, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe thrice, It's kind of normal now. Well, crap didn't work out. We tried to make it work and it didn't work out, and well, there it is. It's the way it happened, No one sets out thinking, okay, always get a divorce. Some people do, but it's very rare. Most people think it's going to be forever. But we're all changing. We're all changing so rapidly. We're growing as human beings. We're growing emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. We're growing in so many ways that you can't always grow in the same direction as the person you're with. So people grow apart, and there's a lot more narcissists in the world today. So that's a big, huge problem. People wake up one day and realize, holy crap, this person doesn't love me. Never did, because they never could, because, well, they're a narcissist or a sociopath. And damn, well, I fell for that one, hook, line, and sinker. Especially empaths. If you're an empath, you're going to fall for this crap. But we've been going through all of these stages and phases, and new leaps, emotionally and mentally and spiritually and all that, physically even. But what's happening now is, instead of the matriarchy taking over again, that this is a time where all the twin flames that decided to be twin flames at this time are coming together. And I believe that this is going to be a co-union. We are in a co-creative world now. We're in the fifth dimension. It's no longer time is money. It's now time is art. And art is a creation of the mind and the soul. And we're going towards that as a collective whole, that connection, that co-creation, whether you're a twin flame or not, and whether you're with your twin flame, if you are a twin flame or not, that's where we're all headed, right? And so the Mother, Father, God is now, they're going to co-create together. They're going to be present together. I feel that that's where we're going. And a lot of people are starting to say that it's going to be a co-creation and a union in a way before, where it was out of balance. There was an imbalance of the power structure from the religion on down. Whether it was spirituality or religion or whatever, and people's beliefs and mores and all that. But see, now there's a co-creation, and that's even that's reflected in the transgender people. And there's a lot more transgender people, I believe, than were before. And I don't think they're souls that are necessarily confused, but I think they're souls that will hold one physical gender in their body, but another one in their mind or their soul. And that is a physical representation of what's going on spiritually. I really feel like my energies have shifted. Like, I've always been kind of androgynous as far as my attitudes have been very male. My body is very female. There's no mistaking me for a man, but my energy confuses men, and I have a hard time dating because I'm very confused as far as I don't put out a typical or stereotypical female energy. I'm both, or male. And I feel like that's something that's been possibly coming more and more into the forefront. Possibly with the millennial movement, and people are just like, I am who I am, I'm me, shave my head or whatever hair I've got left, I'm going to dye it hot pink or green or blue. It's like a punk rock movement, but a lot of people that are doing that aren't even punk rockers anymore. They just want to express themselves in their style, and all the, there's a lot of stuff like, tribal stuff. And tattoos used to be, when I was a kid, the only people that had tattoos were like prostitutes or biker gangs. That was like the stereotype. Like, if you have a tattoo, you're probably a drug addict, you're probably part of a biker gang, and you probably sold your body for money. So that was at least the way I was raised, and that was kind of the attitude of everyone around me. And now almost everybody I know has a tattoo. My aunts that helped raise me when I was little, they even have tattoos. I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's so weird. And like, all my cousins have tattoos, and people in the younger generations, both my children have tattoos already. Just like, it's just normal. It's just everyone has a tattoo. Everyone has a wearable art. Like, there's so many things that have changed from in the past 50 years that I've observed personally, in the past hundreds of years that I've read about. But I feel like that feminine, masculine struggle, where the females were in charge and then the males were in charge, then the females and the sexual revolution fought so freaking hard to be in charge again, and we still aren't pay-wise equal. Women and men are not pay-wise equal yet, but women do have more opportunities than ever before. We can have bank accounts, we can own land, we can pay our bills ourselves, Even in Saudi Arabia, women can drive now. I never thought I'd see the day that would happen. I was shocked when they allowed females to ride their own bicycle. in Saudi Arabia a couple years back. That was like huge. So everywhere on the earth, even in the toughest places like that, they're very strict. There are things that are happening. It's moving. There's a movement. There's a movement towards progress. And that movement towards progress is a movement towards union, towards the one that we all are. Instead of saying that men are better or women are stronger emotionally and men are stronger physically or whatever, we're just going to assume that we're just people. We're going to love each other as people. We're going to see each other as people. And we all have strengths and weaknesses, and we're all individuals, and yet we're all one. And now we can create art together. We're going to live free and in peace and in harmony. And it's coming down the pike, guys. It's coming. We're just so close. All right, I did some research, and in my research, I found the HeartMath Institute. This confused me before, so I started reading from the Schumann Resonance out of Italy from disclosure.it. And the thing is, that's only one graph. I mean, only one machine in Italy reading the Schumann Resonance as the readings occur there in Italy. And I know that there's machines all over the world. And the HeartMath Institute, they have the information on 6 different ones, and they don't talk about what happened throughout the day. They just have like a basic number that is kind of the average of all the numbers and spikes that have occurred. When I tell you guys what happened yesterday and what happened today, according to the HeartMath Institute, it's going to blow your mind, because we've all been feeling this intense, heavy duty, like walking underwater type of energy. And what the hell is going on? And then when I read the Schumann Resonance from Italy, it's like, oh, it was 17. It's like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Because I know the waves are coming. You guys know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone feels it. There's dozens. Every day I get dozens in my YouTube feed, videos of people going, oh my God, the waves are so strong today. I could barely keep my eyes open. I was so tired. Yesterday, I went into the little store next door, and I don't think these people that work there are very, spiritually aware. They're very sweet, loving, amazing, beautiful people, but they're not too spiritually open. You know, like I played around and tested the waters one day a few months back, and I said, there's a UFO outside, and the guy's like, okay. Like, he just didn't care. Like, no, really, right now, it's outside. Like, you should come out with me. It's like, nah, I don't care. It's like, wait, what? There's an alien being above your head right now. Just turn your face. You know, no, he wouldn't even look. He didn't care. It's like, how the hell are you not absolutely thrilled to the teeth or scared as F? You know, one way or the other. How could you be so nonchalant? It's like as if I said, there's a cat across the street. Okay. You know, really, like that. It was just like, what? So I don't think they're aware, but I see them having the symptoms, right? I know they're moving to the 5th dimension. I know eventually they're going to wake up. Eventually they're probably going to go, oh yeah, remember you talked about that ET? What else do you know about? You know about this spiritual thing? You know, I have a feeling soon that's coming. And that's going to come not only to me in my world, but to you in your world as well. People are going to start going, hey, you know, can you tell me what that thing that happened to me? I left my body and I turned around and saw my body. What is that? And you could be like, oh, well, that's just astral projection. Yeah, all right. You know, you're going to be like, we're all going to become teachers to all the people that are right now asleep, but they're waking up. Right? Okay, so I was in the store yesterday, and this lady, like, she's counting all this stuff, and she's adding it on the adding machine to make sure that she's going to charge me the correct amount of money, right? And she's, she wants, everyone, they're always using this adding machine. So she's like, she adds up everything, and it came out to $55. And she looked at me and she said, "That's not correct." I'm like, "No, it's not correct. Come on." And she started laughing, and I started laughing, and then she did it again, and it was like $35. And she's like, "No, that's not correct." And she did it 3 or 4 times before she's like, "Oh, you owe me like $16. I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I bought a lot of things, but I didn't spend $55 at the Tienda next door. So it was like kind of one of those crazy moments where we were just kind of looking at each other like, yeah, that was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. And we were laughing. We were laughing so hard. We were laughing uncontrollably because it was so ridiculous. She was just like, "I don't know what's wrong with my brain today." I go, "It's okay. You know what? Everyone's going through that right now. Everyone's going through that right now." Like, I'm not going to blame her for trying to charge me more or something because I know her heart. She's a good person. So that's the kind of thing that I mean, the big time ascension energy is just like, ugh, and it's affecting everyone around us. There's a guy that very slowly backed up into another car in a slow motion wreck yesterday that my son witnessed. He's like, "That was the stupidest car accident I've ever seen." There was another car accident out here. I didn't even look out the window. I was just like, ugh, I didn't even want to know. And people have been honking at each other angrily and more so than usual. So all this weird stuff is going on. And I think part of the frustration is that people don't know what's happening to them. They're like, suddenly something is wrong and they're scared because they don't know what the hell is going on. So if you're around people that this is happening to, please let them know gently. Well, this is a thing. The Schumann resonance is going crazy. The magnetosphere is a giant hole in it. We are being bombarded by energy from the sun, and that's making us all confused. That's, so give them a scientific explanation at first. Because a lot of people, if you start going, well, we're ascending as humanity, and it's all love and light and peace and fluffy bunnies and rainbows and unicorns and a dragon or two, maybe even mermaids, they're going to go, well, you're clearly out of your freaking mind and maybe you need a psychologist or psychiatrist. Until everyone is completely and totally awake and aware. Like I said before, I know up until that day, I'm going to sound like a complete lunatic. But the day after everyone's completely aware we are now in the 5th dimension, they're going to go, "Oh, wow, you've been a genius this whole time." Not just me, all the people who are going through this, all the people who are deciding to speak up against it, or not against it, speak up and display all the information and discuss it. We're speaking out to people like, hey, guess what? This is exactly what's going on right now. I told someone the other day, hey, we're all ascending into the 5th dimension. This is like a scientific and natural thing that's happening. Our DNA is changing rapidly. And he didn't believe me. He just looked at me and was like, wow. He kind of said, what an interesting world you live in. Alice, it's so interesting inside your head. So weird. Okay. All right. Let me see here if I can't get... I had this queued up and then my phone keeps moving this. So Saturday, I'm going to go to Friday. And then Saturday, I'm going to tell you the numbers of these 6 locations. And then when I get to today's, I'm going to tell you where the Schumann resonance is spiking in what city, in what area. Because maybe, just maybe, if you're in one of these areas, you're going to be affected more than people who are not in those areas. Makes sense, right? Okay. Friday, on the 19th, we had 148, 105, 151, 381, 105, and 126 on the 6 different Schumann resonance scales. That's Friday. All right. Let's see, what's today? Oh, this thing is just messing up, man. I have to put the right date. It says yesterday, but it doesn't say today. All right, here we go. So, I mean, those numbers are crazy, but don't they match how you've kind of been feeling? Like, for sure, me, that's where I'm at, right? This is where what I've been feeling. So yesterday, these are the numbers from yesterday. 164, 119, 108, 392, 103, 174. Okay. All right. Now we're just going to go to today. Whoops. Oh my God, this thing is so movable. This is so irritating. All right. Today. Now I'm going to tell you with the site key. So in California, the Schumann resonance was 169 today. In Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, it was 118 today for the Schumann resonance. In Lithuania, the Schumann resonance was 178. In Alberta, Canada, the Schumann resonance was 396. That makes sense because if that's Alberta, the center of Canada, my friend who's on Nova Scotia Island who is always working on herself, she's usually in the 9th dimension. Every time I ask her higher self, that's the answer I get. I'm like, is she in the 5th yet? No, she's in the 9th. That's really, she's like overwhelmingly high up there. Okay, so Northland, New Zealand Schumann resonance today, 111 is the average of all the numbers they took and averaged them out. And in, oh boy, I don't know if I can say this, Hululue, South Africa, the Schumann resonance today was 163. Well, that's quite a bit different than what we've been getting readings from Italy, right? Because the only one I've been looking at, honestly, has been Italy. I didn't understand this before. I took some time today and read it. And now that I've been looking at the Schumann resonance for a while and kind of feeling what's going on, I don't even know what it is in Ecuador. I don't even know. There's got to be somebody with a Schumann resonance down here. I want to know. Today just says it was calm. It's 300. It's almost 400 in Alberta. How could it be calm in Italy? What the hell is happening? Is this a measurement, perhaps, of where the magnetosphere is cracked directly and it's still intact in Italy? I mean, now I'm like more confused than ever, but I'm more curious than ever as well. Stuff is crazy. Like, for real. All right, I'm going to look up A Course in Miracles. I think we're on lesson 43. I have to look it up. All right, so I don't know. There you have it as far as the Schumann resonance. So that makes a little more sense, doesn't it? I mean, if you're anywhere near Alberta, Canada, like in the United States, If it's 396 in Alberta, it might be 200 in the US. I mean, are you guys all feeling wonky? I mean, really? People might be feeling pretty strange, Maybe more than I'm feeling down here. I don't know. I know I've been feeling really crazy. My ears have just been popping and buzzing and ringing like crazy. Sometimes I'll have 2 different tones in one ear or 2 different tones in each ear. There'll be a low pitch in one ear and a high pitch in the other ear. The tinnitus has gotten really out of hand. All right, we are on lesson 43. I gotta go to that right now. Okay. There we go. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Then goes on to say, perception is not an attribute of God. His is the realm of knowledge. Yet he has created the Holy Spirit as a mediator between perception and knowledge. Without the link, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. And with this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth. So, A Course in Miracles today, lesson 43 is God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. So later it says, for example, you might say, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from him. I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. All right, well, there you have it. When I come back after this message, you have about 5 minutes to go and do your thing, whatever your thing is, because I don't know. But just go, you have 5 minutes. Go make your popcorn. I don't know. Maybe you eat Hot Pockets and you're going to pop in the microwave for the next few minutes. I don't know what you're going to do. Pour yourself some lemonade if you're in Europe because you're going to need to cool off. I know it's been hot there. I'm sorry about that, guys. I hope that everyone feels some sort of relief soon. I've been reached out to by several people the past few months. People in the Gambia, there's kids that are starving over there, so God will know who they are if you want to say a prayer for the kids that reached out to me. 16-year-old, oldest out of 3, and his parents just died. And someone gave him and his siblings free bread, and there's cholera in the bread. And they're really sick, and they can't work, and he's trying to figure it out, and he's asking me for money, and I'm like, I can't give you money, but I gave him a list of 50 different charities. I gave him a website I found in his city, 50 charities that will give him money. He says he's already tried. I'm like, you didn't try 50 cities. Come on. I know how 16-year-olds are. I have one in my home in this very moment, actually. Like, I know you didn't ask 50 different people for food and shelter. So I know that you can, though. It's in your power, and I just gave you the addresses of all these places. So if people start reaching out to you, because people have cell phones, even if they're poor, and they have access to the internet, even if they're poor, because there's free internet everywhere now. And if people start asking you for help monetarily and you don't have it to give, or you don't feel comfortable with the situation, I wanted to mention this because you could look it up. Look up charity and ask what city are you in, and then you could give them a list because there's always charities available to help people. So that's what I've decided to do from now on. There's been many people reaching out to me asking for money. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like just barely hanging on by a tooth. You know what I mean? So I don't know, guy, I'm praying for you though. I'm sending you love and light. and healing energy, and life isn't fair. Life isn't fair for most people. So, because we're all souls and we all are one, but I wanted to throw that out there in case this is happening to you guys as well. When people are reaching out going, please help me, I'm starving, and you feel guilty and you're like, what the hell am I going to do? And is this really a scammer? Do I delete the person? Do I block them? Do I report them? Just give them a list of charities. Say, what, I can't do anything, but you know what, here's a list of charities. And in fact, I'll give them money through the charity. So you got to go there and get the money from them. I don't know. It's just the thing I came up with today to handle this. If I was a bajillionaire, then I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll send you $1,000. Go get yourself a place to live and get yourself a job. Get yourself healthy. Go see a doctor. If I was super wealthy, I'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. But since I'm not, that's the next best thing. Anyway, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. When I come back, I am channeling the divine feminine. Mother God wants to talk to us about the imbalance and balance of power, maybe? I don't know. She told me last night while I was laying in bed she wants to be channeled today for the show, so we'll see what she has to say. I honestly don't know. All right, I'll be right back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. Chances are you've heard of CBD oil, but maybe you're a little afraid it might make you a little high or super drowsy. Possibly you're not going to pass mandatory drug testing at work. Am I right? Well, I found an amazing company. I'm including the link in this episode's description. Okay. This is derived from only the hemp plant. It does not contain THC, which is the factor in marijuana that makes you high. This CBD oil has been known to reverse aging, help you through weight loss issues. You will literally lose weight on our products if you want. Also reverses hair loss. It also helps you with things like insomnia, anxiety, pain in your muscles and joints, and it gives you benefits throughout your body with its high quality antioxidants. We even have a vape. Would you like to try the blueberry cheesecake? I know I would. I mean, there's so much danger with vaping these days, but not when it is only CBD oil. That's right. You could vape not only anytime you want, because it's not going to make you high, but it's also going to be healthy for you. How's that? Pretty cool, right? Well, go ahead and look in my episode description for my link. And, well, start using your CBD oil today. If you're interested in the business end of it, it's absolutely free to join. It's absolutely free every month, actually. I have never seen a business like this in all my life. So you can start, well, using your CBD oil, and you can start a brand new side hustle for yourself. Hey, as in, hey, Yoga Shaman approves of this message. I love you guys, and well, here's to your health. All right, guys, I'm here with Divine Mother. You might want to call her Goddess, but the divine feminine form of God. We are connected, and I'm going to begin my channeling now, but if you're new to the show, you will be maybe happy to know that I do not allow any beings, regardless of who they say they are, to take over my body. I surround myself with white light and protection. I know this is Divine Mother, but I'm a Virgo. I want to be in the body that's mine and use telepathy as my channeling method. So basically, I am an indirect channel, and that's just me, just the way I do it. Just so you know. So I will clarify, ask for clarification if I don't get something. I will use muscle testing to determine whether or not what I am hearing is what the spirit I'm speaking to is actually saying. In this case, in this moment, I am already connected to Divine Mother. That is what Paramahansa Yogananda calls her. That's what I call her too. But if you feel more comfortable saying Goddess, that's okay too. So I am thanking you, Divine Mother, for coming our way today and enlightening us with your divine wisdom. Thank you for, this is her talking now. She says, thank you for having me on your show, but also for listening to your higher guidance and always being in touch with me, because it makes these processes much more helpful. We are wishing at this time that more of you become in tune with your spiritual guidance, your spiritual teams. You have been taught how to do this by the very podcast you're listening to. If you do not know how, then you have to make a search for spiritual team in metaphysical soul speak. But we wish at this time for you to connect with your higher guidance, because if you could connect with us and you remain and retain that connection, we are here to help you through this last boost of the ascension and beyond. We can give you guidance and give you a nudge one way or the other if something is good for you or something is bad for you. If something is not going to serve your highest good, we will give you a direct signal. If you wish to have this kind of connection with the divine, it's available, and we are here on the other side just waiting for that connection to take place. We love communication directly with you. We do not anymore necessarily need to be worshipped in a house of God, as you call it, because we are everywhere and you are everywhere. We are all one together. We wish to now have a co-union with you, each individual you and you as a whole. This is what this transmission is about, is the unionization of all together as one. You were in a world where things were very separate. You were put through a series of tests. You put yourself through a series of tests. Your souls were in charge of that. Father God and I did not put you through the tests. It was what you chose for yourself. But we wish you to know now that you are a co-creator. You always have been. But even more than ever now, you have the direct responsibility to take note of it and take this on as your gilded coat, as it were, that surrounds you. You are no longer a human looking for a divine connection. You are to understand now at this time, you are a divine being. You need to claim this. This is your inheritance. This is who you are. You are all gods and goddesses in the making. You are co-creators. You have entered into the fifth dimension in which you are in charge of your life. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of everything you do. The lower vibrational energies that many of you are still bringing into your forefront, your field of vision, your mental energy, your emotional energy, you need to let it go. This is a time to release, relax, and let go of all things that do not serve your highest purpose. This is a time in which you can let go of all diseases. This is a time in which you can let go of all guilt for succeeding and wanting to succeed. This is a time to let go of all the things in your life that don't serve you. We have said this to you before. We're reminding you now. In addition to all that, this is a time to take on the responsibility of creating the world you wish to see. That was funny timing. I don't know if you guys heard that in the background. All right. Sorry, Divine Mother. She's laughing too. She says, well, everything is in divine timing, especially comedy. All right. She says, so you had a question in regards to the three-dimensional worshiping of God in the various forms. While it is true that there was a main gist of feminine, female God, this took on many forms in your world. It was not always directly real or connected to me. Many times it was just a shape, like a blob of an idea. The idea that women were the creators and the nurturers of children. The children came through the female body, and early man, early woman, early humans, however you wish to qualify that, they saw the feminine body as being quite magical, quite powerful, something to both be feared and worshipped. For millennia, this was the case. And as a result, women were in charge. They ruled. And eventually, over time, and as the ages passed, things happened. Things happened in the planetary alignments and the systems. Different ages came about, and in time, the male body was seen to be the strong one, and females were not revered for being strong, for giving birth. They were sought as seen as being weak, because when they were pregnant, they were in a weakened state. They had to relax in order to produce milk and for the babies, and they were seen as having to rest when they had their menstruation. They needed their time to rest, and they had pain. And when men started to really think about it, they started to believe that they were the greater sex because they did not have times in which they were down and out. They were always ready, at the ready, to fight. And this is the time when the world was started to be divvied up, carved out into territories, which you now call countries, cities, towns, states, and the like. It's my belief that women would not have made the distinctions. They would have had areas or regions, but it was men that came up with the idea to put invisible borders around territories, the invisible fences. And that's okay. It's right that it should have happened the way that it did. We should never lament the fact that it happened the way that it did, because we all learned. And women took a back seat, whereas before they were the powerful ones. They took a back seat. And when this happened, it allowed men to reclaim and empower themselves and their own strength. But now that that end of that age is coming to a close, the men, they have gotten out of control in recent decades, thinking that they're better, not paying, I think she's saying like not paying women, the whole thing. That's me, not Divine Mother. So she says, yes, exactly. There was the feminine form in the beginning, everything was great, and that became out of balance, and then the men took over, and then the men have gotten out of balance. And now, little by little, slowly and surely, the men are reclaiming their power in a whole new way. They're claiming their vulnerabilities. They're claiming their hearts. They're loving themselves. They're allowing themselves to feel emotions. They are getting out of the machismo idea of being in this world. And it is up to the females in this world, and we don't always talk about physical body when we say male and female. We want to mention that this is a definite energy in the planet. It's not to look at somebody's physical body or their genitals to say, you are that. So when we speak in divine feminine and divine masculine, at this moment we are talking about energies only. So it is up to the divine feminine aspects to love the divine masculine aspects and allow them the space and the time to really learn how they feel and who they are as human beings. We need you to not mock them, not allow them to come under attack for being who they are. The new generations coming in understand what it means to be one and equal and free and open to the heart and the mind and all of the glorious parts of what makes up the human being as an experience. The men need to be in touch with their emotions, have that emotional intelligence. What is falling to the wayside, like the dinosaurs, are the men who take charge and imagine they know what's best for a woman. What's falling to the wayside are the men that are very negative and evil and take charge in a way that they think because their bodies are physically stronger, they can overpower a woman and have their way with her. Many of those people that were formerly considered to be celebrities or heroes or worshipped as being puny gods, we'll say puny gods because celebrity does not make a person a god. What makes a person a god is doing the spiritual work and being able to back that up with strong silences, with quiet power, and with deep humility. Being humble is one of the very first steps to claiming your godhood. You bow before the power in front of you. You allow it to take over as your own power, but you're never, ever to claim that you're better than anyone else with this power, because everybody has the same power available to them when they are ready and they've given up the ego and they have bowed in humility before their own power. Then they can allow it to take over. And then life becomes very easy, magical, as if in a dream. So falling to the wayside are those men who thirst for power and hunger for wealth that's out of control without helping those around them. Also falling to the wayside are the feminine energies that have capitulated to the male power and stroked the male ego in a way that diminishes themselves, allowing their own light to be sheltered and hidden under a bush or under a cloak of night that they keep, where they keep their talents and their minds well hidden. Falling to the wayside are the women that give in to the idea of male power and the stereotype of the strong male. This is the time in which you should get rid of all of the stereotypes of feminine and masculine. This is the time in which you are to understand, while different, you are very much equal. That your souls all weigh the same. That your bodies are an illusion. Whether your body bulges out in one section or another section, that makes you genderly female or male. that is not really that important anymore. Your Elena has said to many people that looks are unimportant. It is the energy that a person gives off, and whether two people can flow together or not in that energy, in that stream. There is an energy stream that flows between two individuals, regardless of gender, when they hold hands, when they look into each other's eyes and make that energetic connection, and when they kiss, when they make love. There is an energy that flows, and you are to understand that when this flows in the positive way, and you are meant to be together expressing these energies in a cocoon of love, as some of you call it, when you are together with somebody and it flows nicely, it warms your heart. There's a saying on earth, warms the cockles of your heart. That is exactly what I am talking about. You will know your one true love when it warms you to an extent that it feels like a fire, yet will never consume you. You will be calm with your one true twin. You will be calm, but so passionate, so loving. And you won't have that lust sexual feeling only, that it will only be coupled with love and joy and purity and innocence. And as your Elena was explaining to somebody the other day, there is an energy, if you are paying attention, if you kiss the wrong person, there is a sensation of cold or ice or a cold river running through your spine, and the energy flows from the top of your head down to your feet. If you experience a sensation like this, that is not the right person for you. The right person will raise your energy, raise your vibration, warm your heart. Your spine will feel warm, and the energy will flow out the top of your head and go around in a torus pattern until it goes back in through your feet, and it goes straight up your spine again. And you'll feel warm and energetic and vibrant and alive. We wish for all of you to find the one person or persons you are to be with, to be happy if this is your path. And in these relationships that you hold, you're going to understand that there's a bubble of space around you in which you allow the other one to be who the other one is, personality-wise, spirituality-wise. You will be gentle with this other person. And this is not only for twin flames, but for anybody entering the fifth dimension. Life between couples or triples if you are a part of 3 or more in a relationship. Even though this gets complicated for this schematic, it does happen. It is starting to happen more. So no matter what kind of relationship you have, you're going to start to understand the energy field and the ebb and the flow between you. The energy between the masculine and the feminine form. Again, this does not always mean physical body. You might have a female body but have a masculine energy. You might have a masculine body and have a masculine energy. Or you might have a very feminine energy. This is the time to accept everybody for who they are. for what they portray themselves to be, what they display to yourself in private, as well as to the world. You will start to understand that honesty and innocence is the best policy for getting along in the fifth dimension. If the person you are with displays themselves to the world in one manner or demeanor, and they come home and show you a whole nother person, whether that's good or bad or different, you're going to see the lack of integrity if it is very different. Everybody has their inside voices and their outside voices. Everybody has their business tone that they speak on the phone with. And everybody has their love tone they speak to a lover with. That's not what we're talking about. We want you to pay attention to the energy field around yourself and how it is disturbed, or how it is awakened, or how it is dampened when you come in contact with others. You will start to notice it the more you enter into the fifth dimension, because many of the interactions that you've had your whole life have gone wholly unnoticed by you. Now your DNA is waking up, and the energy fields around you are becoming alive. They are a greater extension of you, of your DNA. Your energy fields are not just your aura, or your emotional body, or your mental body, or your physical body. Your energy fields are your essence and your soul. Did you know that your soul is bigger than your body? And it's not just crammed inside your body. Your soul is an energy that overlays the physical body that you are currently maintaining. You might need this to sink in for a moment or two, especially if you've never heard this idea. It's been put out there by several people, but you might not be interested, or you might not have been interested enough to look into it, or you just didn't know where to look or how. The books didn't come, the knowledge didn't come until now. So this might be quite shocking for you. Your soul is not inside your body. Your mind is not inside your brain. Your brain is a computer that your mind uses to function in this world. Your soul is an overlay over a physical body and animates it as such. Now, you do have a tie. You've got the silver cord. You have a tie to your physical body. We're not saying you're not tied or anchored into your body, because, well, you are. But what you must understand now is that your soul has expanded. Your energy field, therefore, has expanded. If you hear a sudden loud noise or a shriek or a yelp or a horn honks, or an animal makes a noise near you, you might find yourself startling and jumping bigger now than you did before. Or maybe before you didn't at all, but you find yourself startling and you bristle and you feel it throughout your whole being. Because your whole being is not being inside your body only. Your energy fields have expanded. Your souls were always big, but the energy fields that interact between your soul and your physical body have expanded. You find yourself in many layers. You find yourself in many dimensions. You are multidimensional beings. We need you to claim that. Say, I claim myself to be a multidimensional being. And it is so. We want you to drop all the preconceived notions of male and female, masculine and feminine, and ideas and biases of gender in every realm. Sexuality, career, interpersonal relationships, ideas and stereotypes. All of that is from the third dimensional world. You are no longer a part of the third dimensional world. You are now in the fifth dimensional world, and things are different here. I will try to explain this further. Whereas your soul mostly inhabited your body in a little aura around your body before, up to a foot to 2 feet out of your body. If you have a very healthy aura, 2.5 feet. Your aura now extends 60 feet. You blend energies with others that you spend time near, whether you know them or not. This will take quite a bit of a balancing act if you live in an apartment building. We wish for you to be aware of this field. 30 feet out is more personal. 60 feet out is impersonal. 10 feet out is intimate. Up to 16 feet from your body is your intimate space. We require you to be honest with your emotions and feelings and keep your energy fields clear. Because you now affect others in a way before, unlike the way that you did before. You are now affecting others. And whether you're positive or negative, that's how you're going to affect others in a big way. The more positive and higher vibrations that you hold, the higher vibrations of those around you. You will, in time, build your Merkaba. Some of you are worried about it. It's going to happen automatically. Do not worry at this time for this. We will be coming to you individually to explain different components of your life, your new lifestyles that will be in the fifth dimension. If you have been wanting and saving and scrimping and crying over money, do not worry. You need not worry. There will be available to you solutions at the ready that will meet your individual needs, and they will come to you automatically. Take heed of them when they do. Be aware that this is your gift. Some of you will be taught investments. Some of you will be brought maybe a real estate deal. Some of you will maybe come into an inheritance. Some of you will get a better job. Whatever form this takes, your lives will be relieved in every way. If you have had physical ailments, they're going to fall to the wayside, one by one by one. You are going to bring into your energy fields only people who encourage and promote your health. You might be standing in line at the bank and you run into a personal fitness trainer who might be guided to say, I'm going to give you the first month free. Maybe your worries are spiritual. You'll be brought a guru or a teacher or a book, or maybe in the song on the radio, or maybe you'll be in a song you hear a bird sing at the park. And your answers will come. Your answers will come to you in the areas of familial relationships that had not been particularly useful, or maybe not even happy or harmonious in the past. The answers will come. How to repair the relationship. You are changing. They are changing. Where maybe you grew apart before, you're now growing together. Maybe where you grew together before, you might be growing apart. Things are changing. The earth is changing. The planet is releasing the last bastions, the last bits, the last counterparts and counterpoints of negativity, dense energy from war, dense energy from slavery, dense energy from one whole gender putting upon a whole nother gender, and then the role reversal of that. All of these things are being released directly, physically from the planet. We are here. We love you. We're loving you through all of this. I am your divine mother. I am a mother to you, a real pure mother. I love you so much. I wanted to send this message with peace and joy and comfort today. We want you to be comfortable with this process, even though it seems very strange and uncomfortable. It's all very natural. It was always built into your DNA. You were never not meant to ascend if you were born at this time. Some individuals have ascended millennia ago. They finished their lessons early, and they got to see the fifth dimension and higher for themselves. And now this is your time and your chance, and you have the ability to see. Release the energy in your energy fields when it is dense and feeling of lower vibration. Reach for the stars, as they say. Reach for the clouds and the sky. Pull in the positive vibration. The rainbows. The rainbows are coming. The purple, light violet purple. That's coming. It's here for many of you. When you see this, pull it into your body. Rejoice in its glorious, formless form. This is a very high vibration, this violet energy coming in. It's a purple. For some of you, you'll experience it as a darker purple, and some of you will experience it as a lighter purple, or is it a lavender or a violet? However you experience it, no one will experience it wrong. In fact, you will not experience any part of the ascension wrong. Do not doubt or question yourself when it is different from those around you. Maybe you are ahead of them. You are ahead of schedule. Maybe you've done more spiritual work than them. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If your experience is slightly different, that's okay. You are, after all, a unique individual. We want you to know that in the coming days there will be many, many transmissions. They will be the colors pink, coral, turquoise, rainbow colors. You will see several rainbows. In your energy fields will become the energy in shimmery violet, along with all of the different colors of the rainbow mixed together. And when you encounter this is meant to balance you. Blues and turquoises are definitely coming your way at this time. To a lesser extent, greens, emeralds, limes, peridot. But if they come to your energy field, you need them. Embrace them like a brother. Energetically speaking, of course. Allow yourself to eat whatever you want to eat if you can afford it. Whatever you think about and you crave, At this time, it's what your body needs to complete this process. Many of you are going to crave seafood like shrimp. And even if you're vegetarian, don't allow this to upset or bother you at this time. That's okay. The food is there to help you right now. A lot of you are going to want carrots and vegetables, root vegetables. This will help you ground. The root vegetables will help you to ground. A lot of you are going to want what we like to call the pleasure fruits. Grapes, apples, sweet fruits. That brings more sweetness into your life. We want you to understand that your food and your expression of the food around you, how you make it, prepare it, all of that, it's all going to be very much more interactive than it was before. Your energy field will expand with healthy food and contract with junk food. There is no right or wrong way. If you feel you must have junk food, maybe for 2 or 3 days, that's okay. But when you feel the need to eat fruit, heed the call of your body. Fruit is going to become very important, as will vegetables. Leafy greens, in 3 to 4 weeks, you might not be able to get enough of them. When you feel that, heed the call of your body. You will need those minerals. Right now, you're needing the vitamins. Are you talking to me directly? No, she says I'm talking to all of humankind. Okay, good. Like, I don't mind having a personal session, but I want this to be for the collective. Yes, this is for the collective. Don't worry. All right, good. Thank you. That is pretty much the keys that we wanted to give you to open the locks of your mind and your soul at this moment, in this point in time. We will come through with more transmissions in the future, in the near future, when it is right for us to do so. You have to trust. The universe has got your back, as they say. We are the divine feminine form of the one true creator God, or prime creator, as you might call him. We are the feminine aspect of that. We wish you to know at this time, before we say goodbye, that we hold you in the highest esteem, the highest regard. We love you. We love every hair on your head, every cell in your body. We even love your fingernails and your toes. We account for everything, even down to the tiniest eyelash. We are closer to you than your own jugular vein. We are closer to you than your own heart that beats inside of your chest. We are in each one of your cells. We are you. You are we. We are one. Get into the energy of the oneness, the union, the holy, divine union. For you are creators. We ask now you stand up and take responsibility for being a co-creator in your universe. These are strong words. They hold much gravity. Even as your forms become less dense and your world completes its changes and your body completes its changes and your soul begins to take over more than your body and you become less dense physically and in some cases mentally. I am showing Elena a deep cobalt blue energy with white spots. Look for this in rocks and clothing and in the skies. When you see this dark cobalt blue color with white spots, you have made it. Anchored fully in the fifth dimension when you are surrounded by those colors. That is our new energy signal and pattern for this time for you to understand. So if you start coming across these colors, whether it's a pair of jeans that have white spots, or the sky, or a notebook, or somebody's eyes, when you see the dark, dark blue with the white specks, or flecks, or spots, or polka dots, that's when you're going to know you are fully anchored into the fifth dimension. That is your private signal, whatever form this takes for you. Ooh, guys, I opened my eyes at that moment. We were at 44. Interesting. Okay, Divine Mother. Back to Divine Mother. All right, my children, we love you very much. We are always here. Pray to us. Ask us for anything. Open to your spiritual team. Create your spiritual team. Keep us open. Keep the channel open so we can just go so rapid now. It's going to be very rapid. We want you to know that. We want you to be at peace and be at ease knowing that. That's all we have for now. We promise we will be back again. We love you. We're rooting for you. We won't say that you are in our prayers because you are our prayers. In all energetic goodness in all of its forms of power and peace, divine humility. At this junction, we bid you adieu. We say goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen, and all the words that you use to say goodbye. But it's not for long. We shall return. Connect with us to speak to us every day. And thus concludes the session with Divine Mother. All right, guys. Well, that was awesome, right? That's all I've got to say. I'm not going to add anything more. Divine Mother is a tough act to follow. I love you guys. If you want to get in touch with me, metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. But now I'm signing off. With peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.